He's just a terrific coach, and he is once UConn is back where they should be in the conference and back in the big dance as well. 2 years at UConn. That's Danny Hurley. Coach Tiki and Tierney, how you doing today, buddy? What's happening?
How you guys doing, man?
Awesome. Congrats on the on punching the ticket. I know that you've got bigger fish to fry, but you can't win a game or make the Sweet 16 or beyond before you get in. So I guess as a starting point, Danny, how would you summarize the season in totality for the Huskies?
Yeah, you know what? It's it's hard when you're at UConn to to celebrate the season up to this point if you didn't win the regular season or the Big East tournament. Just the history and tradition of the place. The standards are so high in basketball here that it's kind of tough to pat yourself on the back when you didn't get a chip in the Big East regular season or the tournament. But in terms of just where we're at as a program, how we've played, how we're playing going into this year's NCAA tournament. We felt like we've been ranked most of the year. We played at the top of the Big East the entire regular season, and we were just I think the Villanova semifinal Friday game. We're a couple kind of finishes in the paint away from having a chance to play for the championship on Saturday. So, it's just, losing Bouknight was tough. Last year, obviously he was a big time player, but I feel like we're certainly a better team going into the NCAA tournament than we were last year.
Yeah, you guys get a draw in the West, and it's obviously the Gonzaga bracket, which makes it obviously challenging. But this year, and BT and I were talking about this, this year it feels like it's anybody's game in the NCAA tournament. You could see some upsets. We saw it in my conference, the ACC, actually your conference as well, where Virginia Tech somehow beat the Duke Blue Devils. So it almost feels like anything can happen. Is that galvanizing? Is that confidence building for I guess anybody in the tournament this year?
Yeah, I mean, Tiki, I don't know where the cutoff is.
That's right.
in terms of who's not in danger in round one. Or beyond. I mean, obviously there's a lot of really outstanding teams in the country, but there are teams that have a better chance. But I just think everyone's vulnerable. I've seen a bunch of the one seeds play, and obviously Auburn was really, really close to a one seed, and
That's right.
and for most of the year was one of the better teams in the country, and we were able to beat them in the Bahamas. So obviously. In a single elimination game where there's so much parity, anything could happen. But obviously, we're confident that if we play our best on Thursday, we have as good a chance as a lot of teams to advance.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that. By the way, that's Danny Hurley from UConn. Danny, when you were playing at Seton Hall, I mean, and I might be wrong. I don't recall for sure. I thought there was a chance. You thought about leaving? Was that? That's not even really. That's just to bridge to my next question. But was that even a possibility that you were going to transfer at some point, or no?
Yeah, I mean, if there was a portal back then, I would have hopped in.
Okay, I got you.
I was ready to. No, I was like the original, ready to hit the portal.
I thought so. I got you. Okay.
No,
that's great.
But back then, Brandon, it was like the mentality was different. There was some level of shame involved with, going to a school and it not working out for you, or you not being tough enough or good enough to be successful somewhere.
Yeah.
There was the onus was on the individual to fix themselves so that they could play more and be more successful. And obviously, that mentality has completely gone out the window.
It is, and I asked you about your days at Seton Hall, and I thought that was the case back then. It's a while ago, man. We're getting old, but without a portal, you did suck it up and you did stick through it, and here you are coaching UConn and seemingly destined to have this great coaching career. But, you have to recruit new players, obviously. Then in some situations, you've got to re-recruit kids that you have to make sure that they don't bounce. And everybody focuses on that aspect of coaching, which is different than it was for, coaches back in the day. But, Danny, just getting ready for even Big East rivals on a year-to-year basis is more of a challenge because their rosters are so different, so you don't even know what they're bringing to the table. I mean, coaching is just different, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's. I think we're one of three. I think we were one of three schools in the country this year that didn't take a portal player, like didn't take a transfer. I think it was us, Villanova, Purdue. There might have been a fourth school. So, I mean, for me, going into the year, I think losing book night, I think we felt like we needed maybe a little bit more firepower on the perimeter, losing book. But, we chose culture over portal and, decided to just, bring back our team and play our young players and really, really focus on our culture. And, we probably could use a little bit more firepower on the perimeter. It just puts a little bit more pressure on our defense and our rebounding. But, yeah, I mean, it's hard to do scheduling. It's hard to do scheduling in like April, May, June for the following year because you don't know who the hell's going to be on anyone's team in the non-conference.
Yeah, and, bringing that up, Danny, how do you scout these teams now, especially once you get to this stage? I mean, you guys are New Mexico State in the 5-12 matchup, which is what day is that? I think it's Thursday or
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Like, how do you even scout these teams and get intel on? Hey, we got to do this. We got to do that. Like, how do you even do that these days?
Well, I mean, you're looking, you're talking to people. Teddy Allen, tremendous player, 20-point a game, one of the most, prolific scoring guards that we'll have faced this year. Big time player for New Mexico State. Obviously, he's had multiple stops, and I think he turns 24. Next month. So you're playing against.
Put him on the Knicks.
You're playing against like older veteran teams.
That's
so you
crazy.
have to. You talk to former coaches. You talk to former coaches in prior conferences. I mean, there's just a lot more information and data to break down. So.
Oh my God! All right, I'm going to throw something at you, Coach. We're talking to Danny Hurley from UConn. So, if I say we're sitting around having a couple of beers, and I've had this conversation a lot, the all-time starting five for the Big East. All right, I'm going to give you mine. And you tell me if I'm missing something, Danny. All right?
Yes, I got you.
All right, some are givens, but I'm sure we might have a discrepancy. Ewing's in the middle. I'm going to put Derek Coleman at the 4. I'm definitely putting Mully at the small forward spot. I got Ray Allen at the 2. I've got AI at the point, and I'm going to give you 3 names off the bench: Pearl, Kemba, and Walter Berry. What you got?
I was hoping you were going to say Walter Berry.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
Walter Berry and Pearl. I mean, it's hard. I mean, only Allen Iverson could put Pearl on the bench. I mean, I remember being just a little kid, Georgetown, Syracuse games at the Garden, right? Pearl putting on a show. I mean, but you crushed it right there. I'm trying to think of a
Kerry Kittles. I'm thinking,
Terry
Dana
DeHare,
Barros.
Terry all-time league. Terry DeHare. I mean,
Terry DeHare.
St. Anthony Fryer, shout out. Jersey City guy, let's go.
By the way, how many times did you play Bobby in the driveway? Like, did you guys play one-on-one a lot or no?
No, I mean, well, in Jersey City, you don't play in the driveway; you play in the park. Right?
That's true.
So,
yeah, that's true.
Maybe the soft kids are in the driveway. The tough kids, they go to the park and hoop. And we had a lot of times we fought because Bob was uber competitive, like to a point where it was like maniacal, and he would foul me a lot if I was being successful, and then we would fight. But Bob also Bob fought for me a lot too when I was running my mouth with older dudes. So Bob kicked my ass sometimes, but then he also would kick someone's ass for me.
Really? Now, when you say fight, you mean like stand up verbally, or like Bobby said, "Let's go," and he started throwing haymakers?
No, fist fight. Yeah, no.
I don't see Bobby throwing punches.
I can't see either one of you
I can
guys.
see Danny doing it. I can't.
Really?
I see you doing it more than Bobby.
Bob's a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to pull up some of Bob's, like Duke. Bob is a fireball.
No, I know, but okay. Wow.
Yeah.
No, he gets to that level of his level of competitive. I've never seen anything like Bob's will. That's what made him great. Bob couldn't dunk. Bob was 5'11", 160. Bob's thing was will and daring. Guys Selfbelief.
I was a dandy. I was up at a basketball camp. Remember? Oh, you got to know the name. Not Curious George. That's the book. George. Who was the guy? George the Wizard. I don't know. There was some guy who'd come. He'd do all these tricks, like dribble them. Okay, remember?
Hand out the wristbands. Yeah,
yes.
Hand out all the wristbands.
Yes, the guy with the wristbands.
Yeah.
So I'm up. It was up at St. Thomas More, which is a prep school up in Connecticut, and I'm up there. It was Nick McCarcheck's old camp, the former coach at Fordham. And I'm up there, and, I'm a better baseball player than I am basketball, but I love playing hoops. And a couple of guys that I'm with from the neighborhood wound up going on to play like D2, D3 college. And my buddy Pat, who's a fireman now, he goes, yo, and this is a long time ago, he goes, this kid Bobby, this kid Hurley, because your dad was there speaking, and he brought Bobby out as to show all the drills. He goes, this guy, I think he was a sophomore at St. He goes, this kid is unbelievable. He comes out, he weighs 110 pounds. I'm saying, there's no way that, and then here he was. So I guess to your point, to be that great, you had to have that spirit. But both of you guys had it. You were a scrapper too. Let me ask you this: how hard was it? I want to say living in Bobby's shadows, because you did have a good career at Seton Hall. We know because I watched you, but it couldn't have been easy, right?
No, it was hard. I mean, and for me, thank God I didn't have to do it during like the social media era.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God I wasn't following that with Twitter. But yeah, it was tough. I mean, that Duke team and Bob, I mean, they were the poster boys of college basketball. I mean, they were like, the Beatles. I mean, they were with Leitner and Grant Hill and Bob and beat UNLV. And I mean, it's just a tough act to follow. And, when you're young and dumb, you're not running your own race. I mean, you're so caught up in comparison, you don't understand, like healthy mindset and mentality, and you're not mature. So, I mean, it ate me up alive, because, it's just basketball has just been a central part of our lives.
Yeah.
And, since we were babies. And when that wasn't going well for me, self-value felt like really, really low.
Yeah. No, well, now it's still driving you, right? Because I know it still drives my brother. Even though he was better than me, he's less popular than I was.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Hey, Dan, this is your fourth year now. 2 of those years you were in the AAC. This is the second year in the Big East. And it's interesting because I feel like the Big East UConn was meant for it. And then, back here, the production started to pick up. It's been now 7 years, right, since the last title, 2014, maybe even 8 years since the last title. What's the urgency that you feel as a head coach to get UConn back into that national championship viability stage?
Yeah, I mean, it's you definitely feel the internal pressure. For me, I loved coaching at the University of Rhode Island. It was we had established ourselves as like a fringe top 25 level program.
Mm-hmm.
We were the class of the Atlantic 10. I felt like I had the program in a place where we would be the hunted in that league every single year, and we weren't going anywhere. And the only reason why I would leave a place that like I truly love coaching at would be to go to a place where you legitimately could compete for a national championship or go to a Final Four and play at the top of one of the best conferences in the country, like the Big East. So, I mean, I didn't come here to do good.
Yeah.
I didn't come here to do good. I want to be an elite coach. I want to be one of the best coaches in the country. Obviously, in order to do that, you've got to go to a top place. And when you got to go to a top place, eventually you've got to come through in a big way in March and make deep runs in the tournament. And just with what we've done in recruiting and just the quality that we've put on the court the last couple of years and what we have coming in and what we have returning, this is where we're going to be moving forward, here and better.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you know when you took the job in 2018 that Big East was coming back to UConn?
No. I knew that we stunk. I knew that the team was bad.
Yeah.
And I knew that we were in a league that was, that was sucking the life out of basketball especially men's basketball at UConn.
Yeah.
Just this year, because the COVID year, it was so bizarre without the fans anywhere. But yeah, I mean, like you get into the Big East this year with the home crowds and the road atmospheres, and again the Big East tournament, the Seton Hall quarterfinals on Thursday. The place was lit. Friday night, again, the Villanova game felt like, a Sweet 16 Elite 8 game. So, and the Garden was absolutely rocking. So, UConn is right back where it belongs. And the Big East has been good for us, but, don't get it twisted. The UConn coming back has been really good for the Big East.
I totally agree.
100%.
That's not an arrogance. That is the absolute fact. That's just you guys just bring a buzz. Fact. So that's Danny Hurley, the UConn coach, 4 years already. Wow. And then the roadie run, I think it was 6, as you said, a couple of years at Wagner. I bumped into Coach Calhoun the other night at the Garden, and, he's looking. I know he said maybe it was something with his wife or a family situation, part of the reason why he stepped away from coaching midseason, so we certainly wish him well. And I've seen over the years that Louis Carnesecca, God bless him, is 97, and, admittedly less than he used to be, but still that sage voice for the coaches, whether it's Lavin, Mully, of course, and Mike Anderson, et cetera, Norm Roberts back in the day. Do you ever, what is your relationship with Coach Calhoun? Is he a confidant? Do you lean on him, or where are you guys at? You guys, I'm sure you're cool, but do you guys connect?
Yeah, I do. He's the GOAT, and Mount Rushmore of best coaches to ever coach, college basketball, right? I mean, once you get like Coach Wooden, now I think Coach Calhoun is in the conversation with like who's the next best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I agree.
To do what he did at UConn, I mean, definite GOAT status, right? So, yeah, and I'm smart enough to use my resources. I'm smart enough to hire the best people I can, but I'm also smart enough to take advantage of Gino's knowledge and wisdom, take advantage of Coach Calhoun's knowledge and wisdom. I'll bring Coach in, have him talk to individual players, talk to the team when I think we need that type of inspiration and motivation. I just have to be careful because if I ever get a little bit whiny and a little bit victim-y,
yeah,
he will rip me, and I did that my first week on the job. I went into his office in the practice facility. I was like, Coach, we had the first practice. I think we suck. And, and there's a lot of things not in place here, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. He just grabbed me. It's like, are you kidding me, man? We didn't hire you to complain. Get this thing fixed.
Yeah,
and threw me out of his office.
Really? Well, you deserved it, Hurley. I thought you were Jersey City tough. You complained after a week. What are you doing, Danny? Come on.
Moment of weakness. I needed that, though. I needed that.
Oh, man. Listen, dude. Tiki, you got anything else for Coach? We can do this for the next hour. I'm really enjoying this, but I think we have to get a commercial at some point. And you probably got to get a charter. Exactly. When are you guys heading out? We're
heading out tomorrow night, so we'll get something. You watch, it's kind of, you go from, the enjoyment of the selection show to then, you watch 2 or 3 games on New Mexico State last night. You start calling as many coaches that you think will give you some intel, and now you knock out 4 or 5 more games before you head into practice, and then we'll get a couple practices here, and then we'll head out Tuesday night, and just this year's the pomp and circumstance, the band, the cheerleaders, the open practice, the media. I mean, this is going to feel like March Madness. So I just can't wait to get out.
Well, you guys are going to Buffalo though, so I mean, it's local-ish. You're going to get a lot of guys going to travel, at least fans. I mean,
UConn always travels. They travel too much.
Yeah.
Take over
UConn
the Garden.
Travels.
Yeah.
No, the Garden. I mean, that was. UConn takes over when we hit the road.
Trust me, I know. I've been doing St. John's games for a long time, Danny, and it drives me nuts, dude. Although there was a little rumbling that, I don't know, the Johnnies were maybe interested in you back in the day. Any comments, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, that was no comment.
Smart. Don't make enemies of the Johnnies.
Oh, man. Danny, enjoy the ride, buddy. You guys have a chance to make a little noise and have a safe trip out to Buffalo and have fun, man. Enjoy it all.
Be good, Danny.
No, it was an honor going on with you guys. Love you guys, man.
Thank you. Appreciate
thanks, buddy.
you.
Right back to you. There he is, Danny Hurley, the Huskies coach.